Hi everyone, Radhe Radhe. So, in this video, I'm going to be talking about something a little bit complicated and tricky. It's a I'm going to touch on a very sensitive topic for the spiritual world, but very common topic for the personal growth world, which is manifestation. And I'm going to talk about how to manifest, but in a way that's not coming across as greedy, because the spiritual world really thinks of the manifestation aspect of the personal growth world as being rather greedy, selfish, self-centered, wanting money, wanting everything, wanting all the good things in life, all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to talk about that. It's going to be, I hope I managed to do a good enough job. It is not as clear to me as I want it to be. I know that it's getting clearer by the day. So I'm going to do my best that I can at the moment. If I make any mistakes, then please forgive me for that. Um, so the goal of the spiritual world is to love. To love means more to give than to receive. To receive is an aspect of love, of loving the person, because we feel the need, we feel the desire to give more than we feel the desire. We feel joy from giving more than the joy from receiving. Not when we've been giving too much and not when we've been taken advantage of, then that takes on a whole new meaning. But I mean, when we're feeling good and our own cup is full, then when we give, then we feel really good joy versus when we receive. Spoken about this many times before. I'm faltering a little bit because it's a scary topic for me a little bit, but I'm going to go for it. So, because it is in speaking that my ideas come better as well. I'm justifying now why I'm going for it, and why I'm giving you half-baked ideas, or maybe not half-baked, three-quarter baked ideas. But I'm getting clearer while I'm speaking to you, and I do that. It helps me to get clearer while I'm speaking. So I'm speaking right now, but I'm making it clear. I'm not very confident about this right now. I'm not 100% there, but I'm formulating this idea. Okay, so the spiritual world, therefore, looks down on the manifestation aspect of the personal growth world, because manifestation is all about me. I want money, I want health, I want great relationships. And then the way the manifestation world, the personal growth world works on it is by saying, if I am happy, then I can give others, which is true, which is very much true even in the spiritual world. But the thing is, the manifestation world doesn't put a limit to it, or doesn't put this end goal, that my goal is to help. The goal ends up being, many times, not always, but many times, the goal ends up being, I want a huge amount of money, and then I will be able to help also. That's like a side thing. But it's not that I want to make money so I can help. It's that I want to make money so that I can feel secure, and so that I can just have all the best things in life. So it's all about enjoying. I want to enjoy. And the spiritual world is all about, I don't care about enjoying. I want you to enjoy, oh Lord, oh God. Like, I want you to enjoy. I want to love you. I want to give to you so that you can enjoy, and my enjoyment will come from giving you enjoyment. And so when I am able to connect with you in a very deep, fundamental way, then I feel the levels of ecstasy that this material world can't even touch, right? I can make as much money as I want. I can make a million, billion, trillion dollars or whatever. I will not even be able to touch that moment of ecstasy that I will get when I connect with you in a real deep way. And then that ecstasy that I feel, that one moment of ecstasy is going to be far deeper and more permanent than this material enjoyment which I will get when I make money, or whenever I, whatever blah 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 things that I get in the material world. I will feel that blip, I will feel that moment of happiness, or maybe half an hour or one day or something, and then it will go down, right? It'll diminish. However, I can be grateful. Fundamentally, I can be grateful, and I can believe that I am loved. But that love, that belief in love, that comes from God. And so when we get to this place where I love God, then, and of course, I know that God loves me. There is no question about that. And I do ask for God's love. But when I know that I love God, then that ecstasy that I get, this is the core difference I'm explaining between the personal growth and the spiritual growth worlds. So then how does the manifestation work? Because even in the spiritual growth world, you are creating, right? Everybody is always creating something or the other. So even in the spiritual world, growth world, you are creating. So how does that work? And what I'm starting to realize is that when I am in this state where I'm saying that I want to um, do everything for you. I want to do everything for your happiness. And then I go around and do my work. That's what the Bhagavad Gita also talks about, that I am going about and doing my work. So I am, whatever I feel aligned to do in that moment, whatever I feel called to do, whatever I feel that is my service in the world. That's the phrase that is used often, is my, what is my service in the world, which allows me also to make money, which allows me to live, which allows me to have, whatever basic health and money and finances and whatever, so that I can focus on building my relationship with God. So, what is it that I am doing in order to do my service in the world, and how do I do that? And but what is my ultimate goal? So, the ultimate goal is to build my relationship with God, and my ultimate understanding is that I want to make as much money as I need in order to feel comfortable, so that I can achieve my ultimate goal. We never lose sight of that goal. The ultimate goal is to attain God. So whatever I need in order to attain God, whatever I need so that I'm not nervous, right? So that I'm not panicking and freaking out. So whatever I need to meet that baseline, whatever that baseline might be very different from for different people, but whatever I need to meet that baseline, I want to do that. So then how do I do that? How do I, so when I start to get into this fear mode, now human beings are defined by fear. We have fear. So when the more we overcome fear, the way to overcome fear is to feel that we are sheltered by whatever you might call it universe, you might call it God, you might call it Krishna. But if we feel that we are sheltered, we are loved, then we start and we fundamentally become grateful for what we have, for what we have been given. And we notice all those little things that happen during the day that have been given to us by the universe, by God, by Krishna, to in order for us to be able to have a good life. So when we start to be grateful, fundamentally grateful, then we're fundamentally happy, even if we have our daily annoyances. But what if we are afraid? What if we are, let's say, financially afraid, and we're like, I don't know how I'm going to pay the next bill. I don't know where my next meal is going to come from. I don't know how I'm going to pay the next bills. I don't know how I'm going to pay, I have a friend coming in. I don't know how I'm going to pay for taking her out. I want to take her out, but I don't know how I'm going to pay for that. But I really want to take her out. So all of these things, how do we overcome that? How do we create that? How do we manifest that? And that I've been contemplating on that, and I've been able to, this is the breakthrough that I'm in the process of having. And that is that I pray, my prayer is not no longer, please give me the money so that I can be stable, or please give me the health so that I can be stable, or all of that. It's like, please help me feel shelter from you. Please help me feel love from you. And the way I'm saying it is very important, like very powerful. Note this. I'm not saying, please give me shelter. I'm not saying, please give me love. Because the basic assumption is that I am loved. You are Krishna or God or universe, whatever. You are giving me shelter. You are giving me love. So I'm not asking you for your love. I know you're giving it to me anyways. It's just a matter of me noticing it. It's just a matter of me focusing on all the little things that are happening in the day and noticing just how much grace I'm getting from God. So I'm saying, please help me feel that shelter. Please help me feel that love. Please help me access it, because I know you have it for me unconditionally, immensely, immeasurably. You have that love and shelter for me. Please help me feel it, and please help me access it. So whenever I start to feel afraid now, I turn, and this is one of the things that I had a breakthrough also a few days ago, that I needed an anchor point in order to, and I've shot a video about this in one of the personal growth videos playlist. that I needed an anchor point at night. I was going through this like dark night, and I was crying through the night. This was Sunday night, and I was crying through the night, and I was like, I was feeling so afraid, and I kept saying this over and over again: please help me feel shelter, please help me feel love. And so I was like, I need something. At first, I thought I would have the deities, the of the Radha Krishna, and I would hold it next to my chest and I would cry into them. And I was like, that doesn't feel right, like I'm worshipping them. Then I thought, maybe let me get a stone and hold into that and cry into that. And that also, I was like, okay, what can I do? What can I do? And then I realized I'm wearing this tulsi beads like all the time, non-stop, 24/7. I have this, and this is a representation of Krishna. It is supposed to help me get closer to Krishna. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to touch this, and I have it all the time with me. I don't have to carry anything extra at all. It was so perfect. So then I just, all night, I just kept like, I would sleep like this or hold it or whatever. And I would just, I cried all night, and I held on to it, and I kept saying this. And I felt much, much better from Monday onwards. It's Thursday now. I've been feeling much, much, much better. Still scared. Still, I have no idea about many things in my life, right? I don't know how I'm going to do lots of things in my life. But every time I feel afraid, I just turn to this. Please help me feel your shelter. Please help me feel your love. And then every time I'm feeling, or I'm feeling like I'm thinking about somebody, what is this person thinking of me, or whatever, I'm going back to that. I'm just touching these beads, and I'm going back to that. And just that, I've found myself already in just a few days thinking so much less about all of these external things that my brain was going into a loop for all the time. And as much as possible, I was trying to bring feeling into it, and I was trying to bring like this feeling of actually feeling sheltered and actually feeling loved by Krishna. So, as I was going through this, I started to realize that the way to overcome this fear is, yes, you have to do the work. Absolutely, you have to do the work. You have to put in the work for whatever you want to achieve. But the foundational piece is this prayer, is this the prayer, or whatever, you if you believe in the universe, then prayer to the universe. Please help me feel your shelter. So when I start to feel, or when you start to feel that shelter and that peace around it, then automatically you will start to do work also that is bringing you closer towards your goals. So it's not the work of doing, getting yourself closer. Like many people say, right? 95%, 99% is mindset work, and the 1% is actual action when you want to manifest something. That is true. But that action, what is the action? So in the personal growth world, it's all about gratitude. I am very, very grateful for what I have, which means I am putting myself in a mindset of gratitude and happiness, which means I am putting myself out of the mindset of fear. So when I put myself out of fear and into joy, into happiness, then I'm able to manifest. And then from there, when I'm able to visualize what I want, then I'm able to manifest. So in this, I'm doing the exact same thing, except that instead of, I mean, it's a huge difference in one way, but in one way, it's the exact same thing. I'm putting myself out of fear mode and into that feeling sheltered and feeling loved mode, feeling peace, feeling joy. So when I put myself into that mode, and from that space I decide, okay, I want, this is what I want to work towards, then I'm going to be much more likely to be able to get that, because I'm not operating from a mode of fear. So both of these, the way they tie in together is, put yourself out of fear mode, put yourself in gratitude mode, put yourself in happiness mode, and then you will be able to work towards your goals. And the difference is that in the spiritual world, I am leaving it up to God, like specifically God. I'm saying, Krishna, please help me feel your shelter. Please help me feel your love. So we can turn to, where we turn to also is a huge thing. So if you want to turn to the universe, that's great. If you want to turn to God, that's great. If you want to turn to Krishna, that's great. But wherever you turn to, you will get results of that aspect. And since I want results of Krishna, I want to be able to go to Krishna, so I'm turning to Krishna. So yeah, it's a, in one way it's exactly the same thing. Depending on what you want, you move yourself out of fear mode and you put yourself into this mode of peace, gratitude, joy, and And in another way, it is very, very different, because who you turn to will dictate where you end up going. So you make an intentional decision about where you want to go, and you turn towards that. So this aspect is often missed in the personal growth world, especially when people are talking about the universe, because it's just like this blob in the air, right? Like there's this universe, and there's this angels, and they give you whatever you want, and they provide, and they love you, and that's great, that's perfect, that's wonderful. And just think about it. I would encourage you, if you want to, if you choose to, whenever you're ready, maybe you're not ready now, but whenever you're ready, at some point, think about where it is you want to go to, and be intentional about it. Understand what the universe is, if you're thinking about the universe, or understand what God is. If you're for you God is Jesus, then think Jesus, and like, or if you're for you God is Krishna, or whoever it is, whatever it is, then be intentional about who you're turning to. That's the next step. Just whenever you're ready, be intentional about who you're turning to, because that makes a huge difference about where you go. Wherever you're looking at, whatever destination you're looking at, whatever tree you're looking at, if you're walking towards that tree and you're looking at that tree, you're going to get to that tree. You're not going to get to another tree in another direction, right? So you have to be very intentional about which direction you're pointing to and where you're going. Um, yeah, actually, I think I managed to figure it out while talking to you. I got much clearer on my idea. So instead of 75% just through this conversation, I feel like I'm now at maybe 90% or something. Which is great. Thank you so much for um, listening through my um, ponderings and contemplations. And I hope this was very helpful for you. And I wish you peace and joy. I wish for you that you get to a place where you feel very peaceful and joyful and comfortable and relaxed, and then you can manifest from there whatever you choose to manifest from that space of peace. Wish for you to get to that mindset, which is 99% of the work that you have to do, so that you can do the 1% action and you can get whatever it is that you want to achieve. Thank you. Wish your day filled with lots of growth. Radhe Radhe.